Greetings, YouTube. This is sort of a follow-up to Monday's video. Let me take my headphones out. And this deals with something else I heard on NPR where I think it was Governor Kasich that was talking about, he was one of the presidential candidates, I think. He was talking about every day exposing yourself to a point of view from the other side. So I thought about that. I find it interesting that he repeatedly brought up Martin Luther King, but didn't bring up the atrocities committed by his party's president. Didn't touch on those at all. Brought up Martin Luther King a whole lot. A whole lot of white people like to bring up Martin Luther King to defend their positions. They don't always listen to everything the man had to say. And then they seem to forget that he was, in fact, a black dude. But I thought about listening to the other side. And I'm fairly well informed. Remember, I've been around long enough since the moral majority was a thing. Okay? So I've seen the pattern of what the GOP and the social conservatives that support the GOP, the social conservatives that the GOP has welcomed into their party. They have hitched their wagon to social conservatism in America. So that to this point, the GOP and social conservatism are completely intermeshed. There is no separation any longer. So I'm aware of most of the party line talking points. So when the GOP base says things like, I'm scared of being attacked by terrorists, you are multiple times more likely to be struck by lightning than a terrorist attack. I believe you are 0.3% chance per year of being killed by a Muslim terrorist in America. 0.3. But there are lots of people that drive around without a seatbelt. Yeah, don't worry about it. Or they smoke. Yeah, they're not concerned about it. Or they keep firearms in their houses that aren't properly secured. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. Those are far bigger risks to you. Real risks. But the GOP doesn't use those as talking points, now does it? The GOP base says, well, I'm concerned about, the shrinking middle class. Then explain to me why you're voting for the party that's in the business of shrinking the middle class. When the GOP says things like tax reform or tax relief, those are loaded words designed to make you think they're helping you. The GOP tax platform is about making billionaires richer and making you poorer. When the GOP base says, they're concerned, well, I'm concerned about, Christians being oppressed. You're the majority. You are not oppressed. I don't care how many political pundits tell you you're repressed. It's bullshit. You're the majority. You're in power. You have always been in power in America. You will probably always be the religious power in America. So stop whining about being oppressed because you're not. When they talk about, I'm worried about my gun rights. Your gun rights have not been curtailed in the least. After 8 years of a Democratic president, nothing. Nothing. In New Hampshire, they just passed a law that allows anyone to walk around with a concealed firearm. That's insane. Because I gotta tell you, I understand the statistics. I know I'm not in danger from terrorists. What I am in danger from is angry white dudes, which are mostly members of the GOP base. A whole lot of the GOP base is angry white dudes who are more than willing to not be concerned about women's bodily autonomy, not be concerned about male children being molested in men's bathrooms, but are really concerned that trans people are going to molest women. They're not concerned if heterosexual men do it. Nah. If heterosexual men are accused of harassment or assault or rape, it's, what was she wearing? So I know the talking points of the other side. And if you're on the other side and you're willing to vote for an admitted sexual predator, a failed businessman, he lost money owning a casino. That's like saying you lost money running a treasury. Running the treasury that prints money and you lost money doing it. You are a failure if you lose money running a casino. He's been a racist for decades. He's a misogynist. He's an Islamic bigot. If you voted for him, you're morally bankrupt. You have taken your moral compass and thrown it out the friggin' window. You have tied yourself to a party and to a president that is utterly abdicated ethical or moral behavior. So what am I supposed to garner from talking to the other side, other than being exposed to horrible things that I'm aware of already? I don't need to hear it. There's nothing they can say that's going to convince me that I should abandon progressive worldviews, or that I should abandon my concerns about the human rights, civil liberties, and bodily autonomy of my fellow man. Not even the human rights, civil liberties, and bodily autonomy of the GOP base. Not even while they are working as hard as possible to strip those things away from other people living in America. And I am still concerned for them. I still want them to be educated. I want them to shed themselves of their ignorance. I want them to be happy and I want them to be healthy. But they're doing everything in their power to make sure that no one is in America. All because they've been convinced that voting for the Jester King, that putting him on his throne, is somehow going to make America great again. The most powerful nation that has ever existed on earth, that is in the current business of destroying itself to enrich millionaires and billionaires. The only thing we're going to make great is the pockets and the coffers of the wealthy. So tell me, I'm all ears right now. Tell me, what am I supposed to get out of listening to the other side?